It's called psychological warfare. It's meant to put the fear of God in you. It's meant to run you from the battlefield. We weren't playing. I'm going to pass this around that you fit. This is a natural grown piece of wood. This is a war club. You get hit upside the head of this, you're not going home to mama tonight. They weren't playing. It's part of their lives, and they had been come to the part where they're having to fight. They were fighting. Fighting tooth, tail, no, anything they had to fight with. So remember that. Next time you see them riding the horses on Western and go, woo, 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 woo. But before we do all that, we had a dispute with our Creek brothers, or somebody had a dispute. We had a game. It was called stickball. Stickball is called Little Brother of War. And I'm sorry, I don't have my stickball sticks. But they were on a long piece like this, and it had a basket on the end of it, where the wood had been made in a circle. They take rawhide and made a little basket. You know it as a game today that's played particularly up north called what?
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse, that's right. That's where it came from, stickball. Our stickball courts were about a quarter mile long. Had a pole at each end. As many as 750 warriors would play for each team. Yes, darling?
I saw them before.
I'm sorry?
I'm a part Indian because my grandma was an Indian, but she was gray, so I saw them before.
Saw them play stickball? Yeah.
I saw it.
Can you tell me the only rule in stickball? She didn't hear me. Yes, darling?
My mama was an Indian.
Yes.
The only rule in stickball is you gotta get it in the bowl with the stick, and sometimes you gotta pass it to a person and they might get it in.
That's very right. But there's only one rule. And the rule was you can't touch the ball with your hand. The ball's about the size of a golf ball. You can't touch the ball with your hand. But you'd have these two baskets, and you could catch that ball to those baskets. You could throw it to the next guy that could catch it.
That's hard.
There's no other rule. So if I'm out there and you're my enemy, they don't like you, they can I could do those sticks.
You can knock them
Break your collarbone, break your head, break your legs, leave you laying for dead. So a lot of people didn't survive stickball. A lot of the disputes were settled by it. There's one famous one here. It's settled by, if you ever get a chance to go down a field trip to Moundville, Alabama. It's down below Tuscaloosa. Moundville, Alabama is the predecessors of the Muskogee people and Cherokee too. They built mounds. Mounds of dirt. They built their houses on them. There's several things. But there's a museum there and everything. But that land was Creek land. And so the Choctaws said, this is our land. And it really was. The Creeks were just trying to claim it. It really was Choctaw land. And so they said, we'd play stickball for it. So the Creek men and the Choctaws played 2 games, and the Choctaws beat them. The Creeks got mad and went home. So the women said, we'll settle this. So the women went out there, and they played 3 out of 5, and the Choctaws beat them 3 out of 5. So it's been Choctaw land ever since. Like my fan?
Yeah.
We used everything. We didn't throw anything away. Somebody ate that turkey, got the turkey feathers, put it in a piece of wood, wrapped some rawhide, and got a fan. Yes, sir. Who said something?
It's coming later.
What you need?
I never got to feel that thing.
That what?
It's coming that way.
Oh, it's coming.
You gotta be patient.
Yes, sir.
How long did a game of stickball usually last?
Most time, because everything in Cherokees, everything we did rituals. There's a guy over there I've been talking about. He's from Alabama. He was born in Tuskegee, Alabama. His name is Osceola, which is a white man's corruption of his last name was Yahola, which is a Creek name. and he was called Asi Yehola, which means black drink singer. Creeks, Cherokees, we used to make, and still do, a drink. It's called black drink. It's made from the leaves of the Yupon holly tree. And they would take those leaves and boil them. They would use the leg bone of a blue heron, the medicine man. No, he wasn't a witchcraft. He was actually made medicine. One of the medicines we used was white willow bark. Anybody know what white willow bark has in it?
No.
Has natural aspirin in it. White willow bark has natural aspirin in it. It will relieve a headache. You can chew it, relieve a toothache. We use bear root, many things. But before they're going to play stickball and everything, they would make the black drink. And he would stir it with that leg bone of that blue heron and blow through it, and it would get a froth. Now what's so significant about the black drink is you took a cup of coffee, you know this size, black drink had 500 times more caffeine in it.
Oh my goodness.
You're going to get sick. You're going to throw up. That's the whole idea. It was a purification thing we did. And they said the froth would get you quicker. But they would drink that. They stay up all night, they drink it, they dance. And in the morning, the priest, before you play stickball, all of the men got scratched. It's another Cherokee thing. They would scratch you. They make scratchers. They were made of the scales of alligator gars. They would scratch you. Then you were purified. You were ready to go. You're ready to go take stickball. So you're out there playing. They play sun up, sundown, and whoever scored the most would win that game, and they may play several games. Somebody had a question. I don't know who. It's not.
That's a dream catcher.
That is a dream catcher. That is not Cherokee. It has nothing to do with Cherokee. But everybody knows about the dream catcher, so I brought them to show you several things here that aren't Cherokee. We wanted to bring them and show them to you. Okay, we talked a little bit. Did I tell you we were an oral society? Which means we didn't have anything written down at that time. It was all passed down by word of mouth. And we were sitting around, and those are things your uncle taught you. Those are things your granddaddy sit around and told you. Things, the tradition, the ways, and everything, the history was passed down. In the 1800s, basically around 1825, 1830, in that area, there was a man, and he kept watching the white people. And they had things like laying on that table that you know are books, and they had pages. And he understood that those people would look at that and they were getting some knowledge, or they were getting some kind of instructions off of what he called talking leaves. This man never been to a white man's school. He didn't understand the English language, didn't speak it, couldn't write it. But he decided to make it his life's ambition to make something that the Cherokees could have like that. So he came up with the idea where we have, what's our language based upon? What'd you learn when you first started school? Your ABC. The alphabet.
Yeah, yep.
Ours is built on an alphabet. And you learned about your vowels and your consonants. He didn't know that. So he took sounds and he assigned 84 characters to all the basic sounds. And it's called a syllabary. And through that, he taught the Cherokee people that they could write this, give it to somebody else, and they could carry it to another town and they could read it. what do you think we did before we had that? We weren't the only one. Just tell you a bit more. We had other ways of communicating. Don't have anything here, but you can see on this beadwork here. Our cousins in the Iroquois Confederacy, the Onondaga, the Cayuga, the Mohawk, the Seneca, those people would get a quahog mussel shell. The inside of that mussel shell had white mother of pearl. See how that shines? It had white mother of pearl, but it also had purple. And they would take that, they would make little beads out of it. This is white wampum. They would make little beads. Now you think of grinding that out of a shell. How did they get that hole through it?
Oh,
They would weave that into the belt.
that makes sense.
The background would be purple, and the white figures, white things on there, would be what they wanted you to see. There's one that they wove for General Washington, General George Washington, called the Friendship Belt. It's all purple, and it's got little stick figures, little stick men of white, and they're all holding hands. So it's a Friendship Belt. So that was one of the things you heard, oh, the Creeks are on the warpath. Cherokee are on the warpath. What does that bring to your mind? You hear about we're on the warpath. Huh? Bunch of Indians running down the path going somewhere? No. We had paths, and when we had a meeting and wanted to send it to somebody else, they would weave one of those belts. They'd say, Johnny, come here. They'd either give you something to show who you were so that people would know, or it'd be woven in that belt. They give it to you, and you take off running and go to Huntsville. Go to Birmingham. However far it was, you would run on that path and carrying saying, we're going to war. Need you to come and help. But then when this man got Silbury, then they adapted and got a printing press. And they had a printing press. And they printed books. It was called a Phoenix. It was a printing press. And they could actually do their own books. And I think one thing that happened, now, I got mixed up. Have you studied the Trail of Tears?
Yes.
Okay. So you know what they referred to you and everything as the Cherokee Nation. Cherokees never had a nation, but the white man got us into that. The Cherokee Nation. At that time, we had all the land before the Revolutionary War. We had all the land. I already told you that, didn't I? I can't remember what group I told you. We had all the land from West Virginia. When we came down and settled down, the Onondagas, the Cayugas, they started stopping off. Cherokee came on down into West Virginia. And we claimed all the land from West Virginia to Arkansas. And from Arkansas down to Memphis, and it ran on a path. It goes right across these mountains behind us here. It was known as the Hightown Path, 1,000-mile long path. Went to Savannah, Georgia. That was kind of the end of the dividing line between the Creeks and the Cherokees. Because of the Revolutionary War, we fought with the British. We lost, so they took our land away from us, pushed us down further, and everything. And so, for the 1830s, all the land's gone. But North Georgia, DeKalb County, Alabama, Cherokee, Alabama, Jackson, Alabama, kind of a little triangle down toward Huntsville. It's what's left. So we're all living there. What did you learn one of the reasons they wanted to get rid of us?
Because they discovered gold on your land.
You right on. That's right. Over in Dahlonega, Georgia. Matter of fact, the word Dahlonega in Cherokee means yellow bird.